Hey there, it's Jessica Wyerts. Today we are going to talk about how to edit your pictures so they look awesome. So we'll just get right into it. The first thing that you need to do is start with a good picture. So how do you take a good picture on your phone? I'm an iPhone user, so I'm going to talk mostly about how the iPhone works and the apps that I use for it. But all of the apps are available on the Android stuff too. There just might be a couple of different tweaks you have to do. So the biggest thing when you're taking your pictures is to have good lighting. So the first tip, number one, is to take your camera. Let's say we're in selfie mode here. Okay. And I always want you to do a 360 view. Okay, so you're gonna hold your phone up. You can't really see me that way, but that's okay. Okay, you're gonna hold your phone up and you're gonna spin 360 degrees around until you see the light in your eyes. So you can see in my eyes right now, I'm facing a window. So you can see that little white spot in my eyes. That is when you know that you have enough light in your face for a good picture, and that's gonna make a huge difference in your selfies. And make it easier to edit and faster to edit, because I like to keep it simple, but I do think that it helps significantly to edit your pictures before you're posting them. Okay, so tip number two, you don't want all your pictures to be selfies, right? So investing in a selfie stick so that you can get full body shots, or using your timer on your phone to get a good full body shot, things like that will really significantly help. Try not to make all of your posts just selfie style, okay? Or even a lot of times I even ask my kids to okay, stand right here and then push the button, and it totally works and helps, and then they think they're cool that they're helping. Okay, so you found your good light and you're taking a selfie. You can see on here, maybe, there is a grid on the phone. Can you see those lines? In photography, there's a rule called a rule of thirds. And if you go into the iPhone, it will make your camera, let's see if I can make it show. Anyways, it will give you the lines on your camera so that you can make your picture straight. A straight picture is huge, okay? And you can kind of see it in my nose. You're welcome for that. So you want to make sure that you're using those lines to help keep your picture straight. And it adds visual interest when you have the focal point of your picture on one of the spots where the lines cross. On that, I wonder if there's a way I can show you those lines better. No. I hope you can see those. If you don't know how to turn the grid on in your phone, go to settings and then camera settings, and it's just grid, and you turn it on. Okay? So make sure your grid is on, and then you can see that if you tap on different areas of the screen, you get a little yellow box. And that is where your focus is going, and it's adjusting for your light. So whatever you're tapping on is going to be exposed different. And you see that where I tap on my face, it exposes it different than if I tap over here. Does that make sense? So let me take a picture. I'm taking a picture of my room, and I'm focusing on a little pumpkin, okay? And you can see how that's kind of exposed. Different than, say, I do a picture of the chair or the table in front of it. Let's expose for the table in front of it. Okay, so on this one, I don't know if you can see that very well. We're struggling here. it's a lot lighter because I exposed down here on the table instead of exposing for my subject, which was this. So if you're having a hard time taking a good picture and getting what you want in focus, it's because you're focusing on the wrong spot or you're not getting light. So if you're ever taking a picture of a person, always tap to expose the face, okay? I gotta look at my notes. Okay, so we've taken our picture, it's straight, that's a huge thing. Make sure your pictures are straight. Make sure they're properly exposed. Now what do we do? My favorite apps are Rana Designs, and I'll show you what that one looks like. It's, you do have to pay for this app, but it's worth every penny. So, Rana Designs is this like pink one right here. And then the other one that she has is Rana Magic. Both of those, I use those and Instagram. And that's about all I use to edit. It takes me about 2 minutes, maybe longer. If it's a really bad exposed picture, 2 seconds longer really to edit a picture. And that will make such a difference. If you're consistently editing your images the same way, then especially in Instagram, they'll look more uniform as someone's scrolling your feed, and that will just make you look more professional without having to have like a digital SLR camera and professional photos in every picture, because that doesn't make you real either. Okay, so I'm gonna take a picture. I'll show you. Okay, so this is one I took of myself yesterday when I got more ready than today. Okay. It's not a bad picture, okay? I found the light, so my face is facing the light. I've held it at a good angle, okay? But it's still a little bit dull. And I'll see if I can post pictures better. Okay, so I'm gonna take this picture and I'm gonna open it in Rana Designs. I'm just gonna go open. And it's in my camera roll. And I really sincerely do this to probably every picture that I ever post. There are some different tweaks that I'll show you, but this is the basic step-by-step. So I've opened it in Rana. I'm gonna go up to this little flower thingy. And, oh, not the flower thing. Just kidding. Ah! I got all off track. Okay. The 3 lines, and I'm gonna go to filters. Okay, filters right here. And I would say for every maybe 6 pictures, like I would rarely use a black and white unless your lighting is like super terrible. Then sometimes it can fix it for you. Otherwise, I scroll through to this vintage chrome, and I use the filter at 100% strength. Now, what it's done to my image is it has boosted the contrast, so it's bringing out the color in my picture. It's smoothed my skin tone just a little bit, but I don't know if you can tell in this picture, it's really kind of warm. And warm meaning that my skin tone and my hair looks a little too red. Okay, but I don't care right now. All I'm gonna do is save this picture. And I'm gonna save it to my camera roll. Okay, or I'm gonna open it in Rana Magic. That's why I like those 2 apps, because you can link back and forth without like having to open multiple things. So I'm gonna open this project in Rana Designs Magic. And the reason I like this is because it's a basic editor that's really user-friendly, but you don't have to be like a photography pro to be able to use it. So now we're in, oh my gosh, sorry. Now we're in Rana Magic, okay? We're gonna add a layer. And over here on this side, we're gonna go to adjustments, okay? You can lighten it here, but the one I use most frequently, so now that my image is too warm, I'm gonna go over to cool. So it's the very last one in this one. And then I'm gonna just cool my image off enough so that the whites of my eyes and my teeth and the whites in the image are actually white. Okay, so you're gonna cool it off. If you can see if I cool it off too much, I hope you can see that. It makes it too blue, so don't do that. Just back it off a little bit until your whites are white and your skin tone looks natural. Okay. Now from there, I'm gonna open it and always save it. It allows you to save them in high resolution after you edit, which is something that I love about those apps too. Okay, so I'm gonna save it to my camera roll. If I was going to add words, I still wouldn't do it yet. So I'm gonna open it in Instagram, load that picture in Instagram. Okay, and instead of using the filters, I think that's the number one mistake people use. People overuse filters. So instead of using the filters, I'm gonna go to the edit option that's just next to it. Okay, and all I wanna do to this, whoa, what the heck happened? There we go, okay. So all I'm gonna do to this in the edit mode, sometimes I'll add brightness. If you're fixing an image that was really dark, you can use the brightness. Contrast will pop up your color just a little bit. Any boost to that color that will make your darks darker and your lights a little bit lighter will be more eye-catching when you're scrolling your feed. But I also use the warmth here sometimes. And you can turn it down or you can turn it up and make it more warm. But what you want to do is get the colors in your picture as natural as possible. Okay. You can also take the last option in the image or in the edit in Instagram is sharpen. And you can make your image just a little bit sharper so it looks a little bit more professional. I don't know if you can see the thing, but I've only sharpened it to like a level 3. I'm not like overdoing it. Let's see if that helps. I'm not overdoing it. I'm just sharpening it a little bit to make it look a little more like a professional image. And then I would either post it there and I'm good to go, and I post to Instagram first so it saves in my camera roll, and then I can post it over to Facebook. Or I will screenshot this image, crop it in in your cam or in your phone. It's really easy if you don't know how to do that. I'll just show you real quick. You'll just go to your picture in your camera roll, hit edit, and then this little square thing is a crop tool, and you can twist things or you can crop them down, whatever you need to do to edit that way. Okay, so now let's take an image, say, that has really crappy lighting, like nighttime light can be really bad when you're using the light in your house. It tends to make things really, really warm. Or if you're doing like an early morning sweaty selfie and the natural light hasn't come in yet, you'll notice that your images are really orange, red, yellow toned. So let's take an image like that and see how we can fix it. Sorry, I gotta look back in my camera roll here. Okay, here's one that I did with just a selfie that I did with my kids when we were in a restaurant. So we were in a restaurant. I couldn't control the lighting really, but I wanted to take a selfie and talk about that we were there. So let's see. Here's my image. Okay. I don't know if you can tell in this, but it's really warm. It's like our skin is yellow and orange, and it shows all of my blotchy spots on my face, and it's just not the cutest. So again, we're gonna go into Rana Designs. We're gonna open this picture Okay. Maybe if I hold it back here. I don't know why it's being so weird. Okay. We're gonna go to filters again. And we're gonna go to the vintage chrome filter. Holy cow, look at that. It made us super duper orange. Like super extra orange. Don't stress. That's okay. Okay, the reason I'm using the vintage chrome app or filter is to smooth our skin tones more and bring out some contrast. The next thing I'm gonna do is open it in Rana Designs Magic. We're gonna add a layer and an adjustment. We're gonna go over and cool it down. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. Then, I still think it's a little bit overdone. So then I'm gonna go to the saturation of it and turn that down just a little bit. Sometimes when you have those yellowy skin tones, you just need to turn down your saturation a little. I wish you could see that better. So I turned down the saturation about halfway so that so that our skin tones, the goal is to get your skin to look how it looks normally. No more red or yellow in it and not too cool. But you want these pictures to be still you. You don't want like the Snapchat filter where it makes you plastic looking. We're not going for that. We're just trying to even out your skin tone, make it a little more professional. So I've desaturated it, okay, and brought the colors out. Now I'm gonna save it. And I'm gonna open it in Instagram. Now, one thing with Instagram, when you're posting a picture, it doesn't always, you can pull it all the way back like this so that it's still the vertical and it has white on the edges. But when you post it to your Instagram, it's gonna still keep that full square, which helps when you're scrolling your feed. It just keeps things more uniform. Okay, so we're gonna go to next. We're gonna go to edit. I'm gonna add, because I desaturated, I'm gonna add a teensy bit of brightness. A little bit of brightness to our face when the light was dark is gonna continue to smooth skin tones. And, oh, sorry. I'm totally 37 weeks pregnant and having a contraction right now, so hold please. Okay, so basically that's all I do to it. But it makes it pop just that much more. Let me show you before and afters and see if you can tell the difference. Okay, so here's a before my edit and after my edit. So here's the before. It's not like it's a bad picture, but after the edit, it still looks like me. It just looks a little more professionally done. Okay. I took a picture from my girl Alyssa. Love her. And we just took a picture that she had on her Instagram. Let's see if I can get a before and after. We did these basic edits to it. So it started here. Okay. And she had this cute sun flare in here, and it's a little bit of a rainbow at the top, but you couldn't really see it because of how, oh, I wish you could see that better. Anyway, there's a cute rainbow at the top and a little bit of a sun flare, which was really, really cute. But all we did was edit it the way that I just showed you. And you can see her skin tones are a little bit softer, brighter. It brought out some color and contrast in that sun flare so she could have that rainbow effect. And let me show you the before and after together. The goal isn't to like completely change your picture, the goal is to just enhance what you have. Does that make sense? See how you can see the blacks over here are more black. Her face has a little more light in it. I don't know if you can tell the difference on this video, but so just doing a basic edit where you're not overusing filters, you're not like completely overdoing it, you're just enhancing the picture that you already took. And by taking the time to make sure that you're exposing it as good as you can beforehand is awesome. A couple of the other things, when you're taking pictures of food or just an object, again, to make sure that you have it with either a light source, so a window, my window's over here, that's why I'm pointing over here, a window, and then maybe even something like a white poster board or a white plate even that you put up so that you're reflecting the light back onto the food. You don't have to get fancy. You don't have to go out and buy a ton of equipment. You just want to make sure that you're reflecting light onto your subject before you take your picture. And then you can edit food that exact same way. It just enhances it and makes it pop and looks way more appetizing. My last tip for you is when you're taking pictures, people ask me all the time, how do I take a better picture? What you want in a picture is something that's going to evoke an emotion. So connecting with your eyes, connecting with your smile, something that's going to make you feel something. And that is all about how you are taking your pictures, remembering that rule of thirds, and not ever putting words over your face or your body as much as possible. Things like that will really help your pictures become scroll stopping, and then people will actually want to read your words. So when you're thinking of taking a picture, think about, what do I want people to feel from this post? Do I want them to feel happy? Do I want them to laugh? Do I want them to feel sentimental or something like that? And create your image around what you want your post to be. I think sometimes people snap a picture and they're like, oh, I'll use that picture. But put a little more thought into that and actually take a picture that's going to evoke the feeling that you want your readers to feel when they're reading your post. That will make them stop their scroll and actually read what you have to say. I think that's all I have. That was a long time. Sorry, it's like a 20-minute video. But hopefully that helps you get some basic editing. And always feel free to message me with questions or ask questions, and I can help you get your pictures looking better. Okay, see ya.